Hey, it's Jacq. I'm in a different vibe today because I'm going to be guiding you guys through therapeutic art activity. So if you are not new to my content, you know I usually make macrame tutorials, but you might not know that I'm also a therapeutic arts facilitator. So I'm qualified to facilitate different therapeutic experiences through using art as a medium. So today I have designed this activity that it combines shadow work and candle painting. I've seen candle painting videos like all over my For You page, all over Instagram and TikTok, and I've been wanting to try it. And shadow work as a concept is meant to help you. Oh my God, there's an ambulance coming. Where was I? Shadow work as a concept in psychology is a practice where you kind of layer by layer uncover these unconscious and repressed aspects of ourself or experiences. And I also have just been thinking a lot about the way that symbols can communicate to our subconscious. But then through the flow state of making art, we can hopefully rewire and rework some of these neural pathways. So I have created sort of a journey for you guys, if you will let me take you on it, where you first in meditation and journaling will face some uncomfortable experiences, some uncomfortable aspects of ourself. Layer by layer, go deeper into that experience, uncovering more that we often like to ignore, and trying to rework those into a healthier version from the ground up. Let's just get into it if that seems interesting to you, or you can just observe, come along as a witness to my experiences through this activity. So yeah, let's get to it. The materials that you'll need are some tea lights in whatever colors that you want to be your paint, and then you want a white candle as your base, or like canvas that you're going to paint on, and then you just need a journal and something to write with. To start off, we're gonna just sit with ourselves and make space for some of the more subtle feelings that we usually try to subconsciously ignore. So the first feeling or thought that came up for me was an experience of like neuroticism. What I mean by that is I've been noticing that I've just been constantly running around. Like I'll finish a task and I don't even sit in that space of completion. I'm on to the next. And when all my tasks are done, I feel anxious, like there has to be something else that I'm supposed to do. There has to be something else that I'm supposed to do. So I really am appreciative right now of having this space to look at that feeling that I haven't even really been noticing slowly snowballing. And so I just wrote that down in my journal first, and I asked myself why. Like, what would I say is the root feeling that's right behind that feeling? So I'm just taking you through my thought process as a way of like guiding you through your own. What I'm trying to do with this journaling is get as deep as I can, go through as many layers as I can until I can't uncover anymore. So back to that feeling of anxiety for me, I asked myself why. What's like the root feeling behind the anxiety? The next thought that came to my mind was fear. So then I asked myself, well, what do I feel like I'm afraid of? What came to my mind was disability. That's what my fear comes from, is that I'm afraid that no matter how much I build for myself, in the end, it's all going to come crumbling down. And so I thought, how can I find within this feeling a more positive version of the same thing? This fear that I have that everything that I build is going to come crumbling down ultimately comes from a hope that it won't. So then from this root feeling, I started to try to reframe it and build back up. We started from the top going to the bottom. Now we're going to start from bottom to the top, building up. So what is like the next feeling on top of that feeling of hope? And how can I support those feelings of hope and love, patience? And that opens up my capabilities, because although I do have some disabilities, I have more capabilities. And that leads me to success, which leads me to confidence. And so then from the bottom up thinking, I rebuilt it. And so that is the beginning of the journey. Even though we worked from top to bottom, all of that, what we just did, is still happening in our conscious thinking. So how I wanted to bridge that gap between our conscious thinking and our subconscious thinking, I took these words and I made sigils out of them, which is what we're going to be painting on the candle. And if you want to skip this step, you can just paint the words too, or symbols that you attribute to those words. But I chose, because I just enjoy the practice of making sigils, I chose to make them into sigils. I'm going to start showing you with the first word that I wrote down. So I write down each letter, and I'm looking at it as shapes. I'm trying to take my mind away from like the literal word. I'm just relaxing my mind a little bit and looking at the shapes and noticing what shapes hold other shapes in it. So like O contains C and U, so those can all combine. So if I just write a circle, that contains the letter O, C, and U in it. And then the letter I, it contains T also, and so on and so forth, until I have just the basic shapes that make up that word, and then I put those shapes together. Once I have all of the sigils, I paint them on the candle and kind of put on some music. Just do whatever makes you feel like you're creating space for yourself to express yourself and connect with yourself on a deeper level than you normally do. So I just got into this flow state and I painted the sigils on the candle and doodled some other images that I thought reminded me of this journey that I took. And I think the candle looks really cute. I really loved this activity. I want to do it again. When it burned too, it burned really cool because the colored wax kind of like drips and it looks more like abstract. So then the last step of this process is to just light your candle and focus on the burning candle and the images coming up. I want to see you guys' candles if you do this activity. You can connect with me on social media. I'll put my link tree in the description. But yeah, that's the end of this activity. Let me know what you guys think. I hope you have a good rest of your week, a good weekend. Embrace your inner child, keep your inner child alive, and love you.